Welcome back everybody to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis for big mega cap stocks. So show your support by hitting that thumbs up button and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, consider subscribing and that means a lot to me. And if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, and 3 days of live trading, check out the Patreon and that link will be down below in the description. On Apple stock, it's up 0.98%. So Apple, I actually shorted today early in the morning when this thing was trading at 188.30. Got some 185 puts. This thing came down to 186, got out, and then went back up and now trading at 187.68. Still holding some runners on Apple. So going into tomorrow's trading session, what to look for here on Apple. If you look at my screen, 188.48, and that is where I actually shorted, and you can see why, because 20-day moving average sitting at 188.48 got rejected, got above, got rejected, came down, and now trading at 187.68. So going into tomorrow's session, that's going to be a resistance to watch, 188.48, 190 to the upside, and then 195. To the downside, it's holding definitely 5-day moving average right here, 186.57, and that is why I got out right here at 186. Now 186 gives up. We do have strong support at 185 and then 183 all the way down to 180 on Apple. And here's my X account, and if you're on there, definitely give me a follow. There is no subscription, nothing you gotta go through. It's totally free, and I do share a lot more information, including plays like this one. So a lot of people actually think like, why there's so many winners? You gotta know what you're doing in the market, and I've been doing this for 20 years. And here's a play from today, and just look at the timing, guys. Netflix, and you can see it right here. 560, 562, that is the area that I'm looking for to buy calls. 600 strike, way out of the money, because this thing can move. 9:30 a.m. I was live with my Patreon group, got in right here. Look at the timing. Within 2-3 minutes, it's time to take profit. It was up over 10 bucks. And then ran even more. I think it was 577 almost. And then I got out completely. This thing paid. So all these trade ideas, and this is the only one that I'm sharing today with you guys. There were more today, like Apple. Airbnb did not work out because I didn't even hold that too long. Nvidia also shorted. And I just don't post everything here, but some of these plays, these can pay a lot of money, especially if you can time it. Now, if I was holding it up until maybe 940, maybe 50, guess what? Netflix came back, right? So the timing is the key here, because you cannot overstay your welcome, because if you do that, you're going to lose money on day trade. Now, Netflix, there is a bull flag, so I was looking at it since this weekend, and this thing popped. I mean, immediately, right at opening, this thing exploded. So, if you want to get all kinds of trade ideas, and these are not some like alert services, that's not what I'm doing. These are my own personal trades that I take for myself, and I share with everyone else. It's not like some bots trading and you're getting buy and sell. That is not what, actually I'm doing. So if you're interested, guys, definitely check out their link down below in the description. On Netflix is down 0.46%, and this was fantastic, and you guys saw it right here, right at opening, guys. 9:30. I mean, look at this gigantic 5-minute candle. From 562, this thing ran all the way up to where? 575, and that is where we got out, and then ran even more all the way up to 575.75, and then we saw sell off down to 557.27. And that is why when you see a big move within 5 minutes, do not just stay and you think that you're going to make more and more money. It's better to take profit. Now here on this daily chart, Same thing, we got actually a bull flag happening here on Netflix. And you can look at that on my X account right here. And so far, it's just holding right here around 564-ish. Today, we actually made a new low, 557.20. So what's going to happen here on Netflix? It needs to get above 564, and definitely it needs to get above this high right here, 579.64, and then you're going to see it run all the way up to 588. Also, I said it in my last video that we could see look below and fail. This is exactly what we got today. Yes, we got a rejection at the top. Also a lot of dip buyers came in and they bought up the dip, and looks like this 13-day moving average now catching up. It's sitting at 540, so not that much downside. And I also said it in my video before that watch out maybe 550 to even this 13-day moving average, and looks like so far it's holding right here. So this is gonna be your line in the sand going into tomorrow again, and then 550 to 540 support. 540, that's gonna be a strong support, 13-day moving average. And then we also have support down here, 528, 520, 20-day moving average. And these are all positive slope to the upside. And that means one thing, these are gonna be strong support on a pullback. To the upside, as long as Netflix can stay right here, you're going to see another explosion back up to this high, close to 580, and then watch out for a move up to 588. And then now, look at this Bollinger Band expanded. So the big move, I think it's coming all the way up to 600, as long as this thing can actually hold right here at 564. Right now, it's slightly below 564, but Netflix can actually move 10-15 bucks within just a couple seconds. So I'm not really looking at that for now, but tomorrow it needs to hold right here at 564. On Nvidia stock, it's up again with another upgrade, and this thing is up 4.77%. Now Nvidia, I could have shorted and pretty much get wiped out, and that's not what I did today. I actually got just one put on Nvidia, exactly right here at 693, and right now it's trading at 693. But if you look at 5-minute here, what happened? I think I got right here exactly on Nvidia, and then a drop came all the way down to, look at this guys, huge drop, 672. So I made money on that one put, and then I did not overstay my welcome. This thing went straight back up, exploded back up to fresh new all-time high. So I think the next stop, like I said before, 700, and we got really close to it. So consider this price target hit already, 700. Tomorrow, only if there is any pullback, you need to watch right here, 666 as a support. If this thing actually gets a pullback, otherwise we got to upgrade on Nvidia. Now price target 800. So yes, this thing can go all the way up to 800, but it's just crazy how these things are running without a pullback. And we've been looking at it for the last maybe 6 weeks. There is no pullback. Every dip, look at the dip today from 5 or 672. It was bought up immediately with high volume on it. So when you see something like this, pullbacks are hard to come by, but whenever that actually comes, it's gonna be a really hard one, and you just gotta be prepared for that whenever that comes. On Meta, it's down 3.28%, and I think this is nothing, just a pullback, just a technical pullback, because it was getting far too overextended. It's going to come back a little bit more, and then I think it's going to continue all the way up to 500. So watch out going into tomorrow. We did close below 470, and looks like it did not even touch 452. So it's sitting right in between. Above 470, that opens the door for another fresh new all-time high, and possibly can run up to this high, 485.96 to 490. And below 470, you need to watch 452, and now upper Bollinger Band moved up. So 450, that's going to be a strong area to watch on a pullback right here. Bollinger Band, this thing will expand even more going into tomorrow. So this is going to be a strong area of support on Meta to watch. Below that, yes, things can come down even more, down to 5-day moving average, 423.88. but I don't think that's going to happen this week. So watch out, Meta. This is just a pullback, a technical pullback, nothing big. Buybacks are back, and they're doing $50 billion buyback on Meta, and that's going to take a big effect, guys. And whenever that does, this thing will hit 500 easily, unless something happens and we see a huge correction in the market. On Amazon, stock is down 0.87%. Now, people that are on my Patreon group, you guys saw it. 167 was the buy area here on Amazon, and it didn't touch exactly 167, and that is why I actually stayed away, because this thing already ran so much. But you can see, I mean, money was there. 167.70, 170 calls would have paid, because now it's trading at 170, just down 0.87%. So dip was there for a nice juicy day trade to make some money on Amazon, and now it's gone. So going into tomorrow's session, again 167, that's gonna be your line in the sand here on Amazon, and below that 165, 163 5-day moving average, and then right down here 162, and then this gap just below 160. Amazon can stay above 167. The next stop 173, and then 180. On Microsoft, it's down 1.35%, and if you look at my screen, and if you look at this blue line here, 405.36, that is your support right here on Microsoft, 5-day moving average, and into closing holding, and just below that we also have support at 402.76, 13-day moving average, and then 400. So a lot of support here on Microsoft, unless we get a big bearish engulfing candle that wipes out all these gains and this thing dumps all the way down to 490. That is when you're going to see a lot more selling on Microsoft. As of right now, going into tomorrow, you need to watch right here, 405.36, 402.76, and then 400 as a support. And then we also have support at 396, 20-day moving average, 394, and then this gap 390. To the upside, the next stop 410, 413, 415, and then possibly going all the way up to another fresh new all-time high, and that would be 420. On AMD, it's down 1.93%, and this was also a nice trade idea, especially for day traders. And if you go back and watch that video I made over the weekend, and I did say right here that watch out, AMD might be coming down here to fill this gap at 171, and if that happens, that's gonna be a support to watch, and that's gonna be a dip buy if you want to go and day trade AMD. And this thing bounced off of that support, went back up. So if you actually got like 175 calls or even 180, you made a decent amount of money on AMD, and now trading and holding this support right up here, 174. So going into tomorrow's session, AMD is still bullish, holding all the supports right here. And to the upside, if this thing can continue, watch out for a move up to 184. To the downside, 174, and then look out here, 170 and below that, yes, you could see a drop down to 164. On Tesla, stock is down 3.65%, and you can see we got a hammer candle, and on top of that, lots of volume came in. This thing actually broke under 180, came down to 175, and dip buyers buying up the dip and pushing the price higher, at least staying above 180 for now, even though it's down on the day 3.65%. So what's going to happen here on Tesla? It needs to hold this critical support 180. If not, you're going to see Tesla sliding down to 168.65 and possibly down to that gap at 162. But as of right now, the only good news for the bulls, it's holding 180. And if this thing actually gets more volume, some catalyst, and watch out for the breakout at 187.34, 5-day moving average, then we could see a move up to 194, 200, and then this gap, 206.77. And above this gap, this thing is out of the woods, and we could see a lot more upside. On Google, stock it's up almost 1%, and we talked about it few times in my video just after earnings that 140 or below, that is a dip buy on Google Class C. And you can see what happened here on Google. The dip was bought up, and today this thing gapped up and got up to almost 147. So if you actually call this dip, and I also called out for my Patreon members that if you want to buy shares and you want to make some money, right here, definitely. And I missed actually because I had a buy order right here at 140, and then this thing did not get down to 140 on this day, so I took it off and I forgot to put that back in the next day. Guess what? Immediately on Friday morning this thing dropped and then went back up, and when I saw it, it was already at 142, so the dip was gone immediately. And now we could be doing the same thing that Google actually did before, another V shape. And you can see already shaping like a V, and this thing going straight up. So Google here, now on a pullback, you want to watch this gap as a support, 143.88, and then down here 141, 140. Google can actually break and hold right here. I mean, this thing ran up to 20-day moving average right here. You can see 146.49 and then came back. So I would say 146.49 needs to break, and then we could see Google going all the way up to 152.78 to close this gap from earnings. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching.